In case you are new here, we bought this boat for $100. We have been working our butts off and giving it our all to turn it into a boat that could be worth $100,000. So far, we have completely transformed the hull, the flybridge, and the bottom. And today's mission is the aft deck.
Let's play a game. Who can guess what I'm doing today? Today, we're not painting. We are sanding and Danish teak sealing. We just removed this rail to make all of the sanding easier. The sander wouldn't have fit in between the top of the rail and the handrail, so that had to go. Started over here, and we have all of this to go. Okay, I sanded with the electric sander. I sanded with 100 grit. I sanded by hand with 100 grit. I sanded by hand with 320. I cleaned. And now we are applying our Danish teak sealer. So we were going back and forth whether we wanted to do varnish or oil or sealer or whatnot, and we decided on sealer just because low maintenance, super easy to apply as well. And we did it on a couple other areas first, like the door. Can you see it there? The door and the stairs and the bow pulpit. And we were super happy with it. So we're just going all full force with every single piece of teak on this boat on the exterior is getting Danish teak sealer. Okay, today we are using Teak Cleaner, Total Boat Teak Cleaner, in order to bring back the upper helm wheel and the swim platform back to life. They have that ugly, well, in my opinion, some people don't think so, weathered teak look, and we want it to be bright and light and pretty. For all of our other woodwork around the boat, I sanded away the gray, but on these two things, they are very particular surfaces where it makes sanding not super easy. So I'm going to try this stuff and see if it brings back the color. It's two parts, part A and part B. I got my gloves on, got my eye protection on, and we're gonna get started. Okay, so I just sprayed the wheel off with water. You're supposed to get it wet first. And I'm going to put part A in a little cup so I don't waste too much. And they say not to let this touch anything metal. The brush is going to help me kind of get it where I need to get it and not worry about taping it everywhere. So we're going to brush it on and then scrub it and then neutralize it with B. Scrub it some more and then wipe it down, and then we'll see how it goes. It says to work in small areas, so we'll start small. Okay, now we have part B. We're gonna wipe it off again, brush it off with a scrub brush and Scotch-Brite pad, and hopefully this part is what's supposed to make it like a color pop. So. Okay, so now we're supposed to let it dry, and we can't seal it for, I think, like 48 hours, which is fine. Let it do its thing, and then in a couple days I'll come back and Danish teak seal it. Now we'll do the swim platform. Okay, I'm almost done, but I just wanted to show you like the stark difference of when it's clean and when it's not. Super impressed with this stuff. I didn't know if it was actually gonna work, because a lot of times cleaners just, I don't know, aren't the best. Made it super easy and it looks so much better. Highly suggest you following the directions better than me and actually taping off your metal. I thought I could just use the foam brush and not touch it because I was being careful, but it still definitely touched it. So follow the directions.
Hit my head on over there. Didn't inhale any paint fumes yet. It's another paint day. This time we are priming the back deck, the aft deck, and we're gonna do one thing a little bit different with this painting today and the whole aft deck. I'm gonna take a little shortcut. So I was reading in the technical data sheet, once you prime your 2 to 3 coats, you still have a window where you can overcoat with the top coat, another 2 to 3 coats of the top coat. And for us, that's gonna be 12 to 24 hours that we can overcoat with the top coat without having to sand the primer. Now, this is the only spot that'll really work with that, because in all the other spots we wanted to get the primer on, let it cure, and then sand it, so that we're sanding with like 300 grit or 320 or something like that, and that gets those smooth surfaces really nice and smooth and flat. But because the back deck is basically all non-skid, that doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be extremely smooth. So with that top coat, we'll probably get a chemical bond between those two paint components, and it'll save us a step and some time. It'll save us a whole sanding step and then just a whole, basically like half a day or a full day waiting for that primer to cure. I'm gonna do just a few long strips of tape down the whole thing. There's like 4 strips. So we'll prime today, tape it tomorrow morning, and then we will top coat over that tape, and as we top coat, we'll sprinkle the same we have in the car, the same rubber sand particles that we used up in the flybridge, and then we'll let that cure for a few hours, and then we'll vacuum up the excess particles, and then we'll go back over and we'll top coat over that, like 2 or 3 more coats over that, the non-skid particles. So, and then we'll be done with the back deck. It'll be amazing. So Sierra's just doing her famous 2-rag white down on the back deck to make sure it's nice and clean. The paint will adhere super well, and I'm gonna start mixing the paint down below. Let's get to painting.
Before we prime, gotta wipe everything down with our 2-wipe method again. So that's what we're doing right now. The back deck, we just did all the stuff downstairs, and then we will be ready to get some primer on.
I thought I was gonna be painting the top aft deck up there, but Sierra called it. She wants to do it. It is probably gonna be hopefully one of the easiest spots on the whole boat to paint, because it's just one big flat area, not a lot of little things to go around. So we're gonna be using a big roller, should go really quick, and we should be able to get away with just 2 thicker coats. Oh, look, we got our swim platform brackets on the back of the boat. Sierra cleaned up our teak swim platform. We're gonna do a little reinforcement and then oil that and then mount that back up there. And so I'm gonna mix this paint up, and then while Sierra is doing the deck up there, I'll be doing our mast, which is just hanging from our dinghy davits. And then I'll also be doing these dock boxes. Teamwork.
Yesterday we got the last of the primer on. Today we are doing top coat number, hopefully 1, 2, maybe 3, who knows. But with top coat number 1, that is when we sprinkle on our rubberized sand. So that is what we have to do first, and then we have to wait a couple hours till it's dry enough where we can go around and vacuum up the excess sand, and then we can go put top coat number 2 on. Kind of doubt we're getting 3 on today, but it's okay. 1 and 2 is good.
Here, you just keep painting, I'll sprinkle.
Yeah, I like that.
I can't see, can you see?
What?
There's some spots here.
Okay, something I wanted to touch on super quick is we are using rubberized sand. That is not the cheapest option. We're using rubberized sand with Alex Seal paint, which is also not the cheapest option. There's a couple different levels of how we could have taken this project. For the paint specifically, we, and I guess for most things, DeFever is a very well-known, very reputable, higher class boat than a lot of other trawlers, and we're trying to keep the work that we do up to that level, so when we eventually sell it, people see that. For this non-skid specifically, like, we could have done, the cheapest option probably would have been like Kiwi Grip. It's like $200 a gallon or something like that, so that would have been the cheapest option. Then we could have done like this nice 2-part high quality Alex Seal paint with, I don't know, just normal sand that you mix in. That sand is free. And then the most expensive, like the best quality, is what we are trying to do right now, and that is the Alex Seal paint, 2-part Alex Seal paint with the rubberized sand, which is not free. It's not real sand. You can't just go collect it off the beach. It was like $210 for that big thing that we're using. It's supposed to be better. We learned about it on Boatworks today. We're trying to do a good job on this boat. We just wanted to mention that because, again, you can take this to all different levels. You could take this to all different price ranges. You don't have to do what we're doing. You could do it much cheaper. Save yourself some money if you wanted to put that money in other areas of the boat. So Billy is currently vacuuming up all of the extra rubberized sand that is not like attached to the underlayer of wet top coat. Once he vacuums that up, we'll pull the tape off and we will do one solid layer of paint over all of that, and then we'll do one final coat, that would be coat number 3, tomorrow after it's had time to cure. Okay, at this point we have done 3 coats. The first coat, then we sprinkled the non-skid, and the second coat, and the third coat. Typically that would have been fine, but since our soft sand particles, they ran out of the beige color, we had to use the gray color, and like our 2 coats on top of that is not covering it as well, and you can like still see like gray splotches. So we're gonna have to do a 4th coat, and we're running out of paint. So very upsetting, but we're gonna have to make it work. But she's looking good, just a little splotchy. We have cleaned it, we have polished it, and now we are ready to seal it. Okay, we just got a call saying that the big fiberglass paneling that we had on the back deck, instead of like an extra lifeline, it was paneling so you get some like privacy back there. We, instead of keeping that and just having it white, we took it to the upholstery shop and they wrapped it in Sunbrella. So it's going to be navy, it's going to match our bimini. We just got a call that that's done, and our upper flybridge cushions are done. So we're going to pick those up and we're going to drop off our interior cushions, and she's going to do those as well. But look at how funny this is.
All right, so that's what like the exposed surface looks like. Pretty nasty, dull, sun faded. And here's what it must have originally looked like.
Isn't that funny? So we're gonna have them be navy Sunbrella. Sunbrella is easy to clean and everything. Navy because a lot of in here is going to be white and it's a little bit of a nautical theme. So that's what we're going with. What do you think? What you got going on over there?
We're mounting our panels, putting on some accessories. How do they look?
Pretty good.
Does it feel like?
It definitely feels more like privacy. And now I have less fear of Jetty falling off.
Did I strip it? Or is it alright?
Okay, what do you guys think of our new, we don't know what this is called, wood or something, a little privacy screen on the back. I think it'll look a lot better when we have the bimini up as well in the matching navy, but I think it looks really nice.
You're making me nervous.
We're really going for the old school style of just canvas strung up with grommets on the top and bottom, like you see on a lot of classic trawlers. And this is kind of close to that.
It was more affordable just because we already had the material.
Yeah, it looks way better, I think, than the original fiberglass panels, especially because they were in such bad shape. Yeah, just like how it looks, especially with the stainless hardware. It does look kind of classy, which is nice. It doesn't look too like tacky or cheap or anything, which again, what I was a little nervous about.
I think she looks great. Wow, this is the best looking boat we've ever had.
I know, right?
Look at that shine.